Get out of your cardboard box and welcome to PSVR Life. It's December 15th, 2016. How are you doing, Danthal?
It's been a long day. It's just been tiring. I've been running around, and I had to get my tires changed, and I had to eat Mexican food, and I had to wash my car. A lot of things happened today. Going into California for a couple days after this, and I'm going to really miss the one I love most in my life.
The PlayStation VR?
The PlayStation VR. Also my fiance, who's sitting across from me. Good stuff. What's you been playing this week? It's been a good week in PlayStation Virtual Reality.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Werewolves Within, meeting a lot of great people on there. I bought I Expect You to Die. I've been playing a lot of How We Soar. I used the 20% off discount that Sony gave us for some reason. I don't know why I got it, but you didn't.
Yeah, I didn't get that code. It's a newsletter thing. I'm pretty sure I'm signed up for it. Apparently I'm not. Now I got to find out how to sign up to their stupid newsletter.
Yeah, because you get like free stuff in there. I got like $20 off. I bought I Expect You to Die, Drive Club VR, Crystal Rift, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. So I got like $20 off. It was awesome.
Excellent. I have played some more Werewolves Within myself. I have some funny anecdotal stories to talk about that. I was going to buy the new release Perfect, and then I read the reviews, which said not perfect. So instead, I picked up Harmonix music and have been enjoying that quite a bit. And of course,
did you
pinball.
Put any music into it?
Yeah, I got the thumb drive and I put music on it, and then I put the thumb drive in the PlayStation 4, and it said, you have to create a folder called music and put your music in there. And I'm like, you know there's music in there. Just find it. Give me a freaking file browser, okay? I'll tell you what. So no, I have to pull out the drive and put it in my computer and label the folder music and put it back in there. So yeah, I did the dance thing. Where you make them dance by moving them with the motion, and I did that to Dr. Dre's 2001. So that was great. All the language and everything while they're dancing and making them do like stereotypical hip hop dances, with the arms crossing and uncrossing. And then they got to some of the some of the sex themed music that's in 2001 by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, young Snoop Dogg. The sex type of stuff. So you can get them thrusting their hips, and I got them bumping and grinding, and I got another one twerking. So that was fun, and I did some of the easel and just listened to the stock music with that. And I think with easel, it's important to get a long song. Like if you're going to do that, find a song that's like 15 minutes long, because you're playing with the easel, and then the song changes, and you're like, don't go out on me, and it goes out on you. It's annoying.
Yeah, what I actually did just for like making the easel more enjoyable, I compiled a song of a whole bunch of songs and like a mixtape kind of, and just played that on there. So you just have like an hour to just like draw. It's pretty fun. I put like a lot of like dubstep, like really slow, like kind of melodic dubstep, not like the crazy Skrillex dubstep that's all over the place. I can't stand that stuff, but I like the like melodic dubstep, more artisan type of dubstep.
I like that that dubstep is already becoming like not a thing. People are like looking down on dubstep. It's already like the old music. They haven't replaced it with the new electronic music yet.
They actually have. You're not in the scene. It's called trap. Trap.
Oh,
trap is the new.
Is that
trap
the new
is
thing?
The new dubstep now. Yeah,
it's
go
a
to
trap.
Events. Yeah, trap. It's kind of like it's based off of like like rap. Genre trap of the same name.
I know trap
like
music. I just don't. I don't agree with you that trap music is what's replacing dubstep. I think trap's like its own thing. I'm talking about like cheesy electronic music, like the Prodigy and stuff like that was in the 90s. Like that was the music, the electronic music of then. And now we have dubstep, which is already on its way out and kind of going, but there's no new electronic. If you say trap's it, I'll take your word for it.
In the scene, like I go to events and stuff, and like that's what's replacing it with what's being heard is this like just just trap music. Yeah.
And then I got a really nice, very nice electronic music from a French band called Air. Its album Premiere Symptoms. I don't know. It's French. I don't know how to say it in French. Maybe I'll edit it in like I said it perfectly. But it's like really mellow music, and I went to the beach on that and hung out with the jellyfish. And I, went on the islands. They have this one thing that's like a lamp. And you look in the lamp, and there's this thing that's like right up in your business, like right up in your face, like, whoa, that's kind of close. But it's spinning and it's pretty. And what's the awesome thing is you can dunk your head into it. You could look into it, and you're like, hey, what's going on in here? Ooh, look at those lights. It's so pretty. Whoa. And you back out and you can look at it again. And, it was rather pleasant doing that. And then what else? I went on the trip and I put in, Marilyn Manson's, Pale Emperor, his new album. And, is it okay to assume Marilyn Manson's gender? Does he identify as a man? I believe he does.
Yeah, he does.
You never know. Currently, he does. I remember the 2000s when, who knew? I'm an alien. I was like, fine, whatever, Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite album of his, The Mechanical Animals. Yeah, that was just an artistic expression. He's always been the man. I read his biography and stuff. He never even wanted to be a musician. He just kind of fell into it. Kind of weird how that happened.
But I did the trip with that, and that was pleasant. The music, the walls and the ground throbbing and everything while things are twisting. It looks like it's the music. It really does. The trip, what's going on in the background looks like the music. They hit that dead on, and it's like super immersive.
Yeah, I put my girlfriend into there with our song, quote unquote, and she cried. She says the most perfect music visualizer ever. She could not get enough of it. I tried to take it off of her, and she's like, "No, I never want to stop," because she just put the same song on there.
You know what would be awesome?
Times.
Do that in one of those zero gravity swimming pool spa things. Float and use that. Oh my god, that'd be so awesome. Harmonix, great game, love that. I'm glad that I didn't get perfect. I think the video that kind of personified perfect for me, this YouTube guy went out on the end of the dock of the beach, and he picked up a piece of wood, a driftwood, and then he got a rock and he threw the rock in the air, and with the driftwood he quickly jerked and hit it and bounced it 3 times in a row. And that was that's how freaking horrible and boring this game is that these people are creating in-game games bounce the rock with the stick multiple times. I'm like, this is oh my a $900 headset and PlayStation and all of the other privileges it takes to own a device like this, and that's the fun he's having is bouncing rocks and sticks in a bad poor resolution where the moon even looks bad from what I've heard.
Yeah, Perfect is a new game this week, and I got the I Expect You to Die as a new game. I Expect You to Die is really good. It kind of reminds me of Job Simulator, the way that it's set up and everything. Mm-hmm. And I got to the 3rd level. Somebody could please help me beat the 3rd level. I can't do it yet. I mean, it's I think I'm halfway through it, but there's also what other stuff was new this week, man?
Well, dude, what you got to do is you got to puff the cigar, and you put the car into park, and then you unlock and lock the glove box 5 times, turn on the windshield wipers.
I got past that one.
Okay.
I got past that one. Yeah, that's the first one.
See, if you smoke the cigar twice, then you get a bonus on the thing. So that's how you get the high score. I don't know.
Wow.
That's what the videos of that look like fun. I don't want to pay $25 for it.
Yeah. It looks like if... Yeah,
my wallet's tight this week. I had to buy new tires, and I had to pay the termite inspector. I'm broke.
You're going for a long car trip, so yeah. Yeah, it's expectable, man. So, what else is new on the store this week?
Fat City?
What is this?
Fat City's I think it's it was a release last year. I think it's October 2015 this game's been out. As an indie kind of game, nobody's heard of it, whatever. But they have apparently added a VR mode to it. And if you add a VR mode to a game now, apparently that will get you in the new releases of PlayStation VR. So heck, why not take my game that doesn't really fit in VR, but put it in VR? That's kind of my impression of that. It's $15. It's kind of like an overhead kind kind of weird Pac-Man looking thing. I guess if you played it like and pretended you were playing Pac-Man of some variety, that it would be fun. But there's strategy. Apparently, I'm going to say apparently many times. Apparently, what's your impression of that game?
Yeah, apparently it looks kind of like how Volume is working, except like a really crappier version of like what Volume's doing. I'm not really sure like what the gameplay is, but that's what the level of VR, the immersion that it's gonna give you if you buy that game. It's like a crappier version of Volume. It's
right,
like $15, so might as well just like pay the extra $5 and get Volume.
Hypervoid works. That's like a game that wasn't a VR game to start off with, maybe, and then like they kind of transformed it. Oh, sure, that works. Maybe they kind of had that in mind, but they wanted to pre-release it. I don't know. There's that, and then Starship Disco. That just came out. Both of these, the Fat City and the Starship, snuck out today. Normally stuff's Tuesday.
Yeah, not on a Tuesday. That's pretty weird.
Maybe we should start recording like Thursday nights to get those scoops. Because we record the day before and we don't have scoops for podcasts. Yeah. There's only like 5 other podcasts that do VR stuff. And we're the best one. Sorry, Niels.
Niels is awesome. He has a complete insight on like artificial intelligence, and he brings in some like new views, which is something people are hungry for. So.
Yes.
Yeah, Niels Bohr's. The blue pill, right? The blue pill.
Right. Yeah. So if you want somebody like erudite with like actual thoughts about the PlayStation VR, you listen to his show. And if you want to hear me be goofy, then you listen to this one.
PSVR philosopher.
Absolutely. Where were we?
In the Starship Disco, you could upload your own music to it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. Doing the same thing as like Harmonix Music VR.
It doesn't look like it's on that level at all.
Yeah.
No, that is not like it's not the trip. It's something a little bit less than that. I don't know. It's
just like it puts your music in, and then like you press buttons. It looks like one of 4 buttons, and then like it analyzes your song to put the buttons in different places. It doesn't look super like complicated or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't look like there's. I don't know. We'll see. I'll give it I'll need to see somebody else playing it on there, or maybe I'll get that for myself. We'll see. But those are the brand new releases that kind of snuck out there. Some other things that are going to be coming out. Upcoming games. Ooh, Herocade. That was one of the ones that caught my eye.
It's like 9 games, isn't it?
I think it's 6 games. Like Dread Halls. Sisters isn't a game. Sisters is a brief experience, kind of like a spooky, like, it was fun for Halloween. And it's like jump scares, like things, spoiler, something scares you from behind. Oh no. It's cool. Like you look in one part of the room and there's nothing going on, and you turn around and you look back at the other part of the room and something's changed, and like, ooh, I'm freaked out. Something changed.
Yeah, and then I played that on the phone VR stuff on the App Store.
They've been available on Google Cardboard. So this is a little bit of the Google Cardboard Gear VR pushover. So very simple graphics, but I'm sure they will run super smooth if they've been optimized properly. Some good stuff on there. There's one like Space Invaders looking thing on there that I haven't played yet that looks like it's interesting. There's a dinosaur one. There's one that's a turkey shoot. And there's one that is a good one for the Gear VR. You tilt your head left and right, and the ship like tilts left and right, and it's a procedurally generated like mountains and obstacles coming toward you. So it's never the same game twice. So fly through rings and avoid obstacles that come at you in a unpredictable kind of way. So it's intense. It's fun.
So is this still Herocade, or is
this is still Herocade. Yeah, these are games going to be inside Herocade. Yeah, so there's I think that's going to be a good bang for your buck kind of thing. I think there may be 1 or 2 things in there that anybody's going to like a little bit.
A lot of people are saying Dread Halls is the biggest game in there, and they said they would buy it just for the Dread Halls. So
Dread Halls has kind of a Crystal Rift kind of thing going on to it, but a little bit more of a story-driven thing happening. And I think Dread Halls may be procedurally generated, or they may be things that are the same every time. I don't know. I'd like to see more procedurally generated kind of things, apparently.
Yeah, I know you're really into like racing, like arcadey racers, Dan Paul. And so is Moto Racer 4 with the VR mode included something that you would be buying?
First I thought that was already out. I thought, like, isn't that out? Or somebody said they've played it and they didn't like it. I have to double check that, but it's going to be coming out like January, and it's Moto Racer 4 with VR mode included. So it's probably going to be something more than Trackmania was. But it's probably not going to be as complete of a game as Drive Club VR is. Drive Club VR, tons of tracks, tons of cars. You can play it many different ways. You can get better at the tracks. You can do it online. Drive Club VR, in every sense of the word, is a complete launch title. That's the second to Rigs, I think, Drive Club. It's just not as pretty as it could be. Who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe they'll do something else. I
like it.
Yeah, no. But Moto Racer 4 is not going to be that. A motorcycle game sounds like it's going to be fun, and a motorcycle game would be something that it might not be too difficult to get yourself some kind of bench or something else that you can sit on to simulate it, and that would be fun. It wouldn't be go get one of these like old arcade games with the leaning motorcycles on that and sit on that thing and do it.
Somebody's going to rig a Verzoom bike and just sit on that, right? That's $400 a waste.
You crash and burn. You would fall. You'd like lean and like kill yourself because you can't see what's coming at you. Yeah, the VR. Here's a funny story that just happened. Like somebody in the on the PSVR subreddit posted, "I don't have enough space on my hard drive. Should I delete Batman or Gary the Gull?"
Oh my God! He asked that question.
So I told him, dude, delete both of those and download the Verzoom demo. And so, like, somebody else said, yeah, those games are so immersive. And then the developer came on and said, this warms my heart. You'll be happy to know that these games are going to be have full controller support soon. And I'm like, oh my God, did the guy not get that I was being sarcastic? It was a shit post, so that's how you respond to a shit post, with your own return shit. I think this is the first time I've sworn on this show. I think shit post is okay. I think I don't have to tag the show as having foul language on iTunes because it's well known, that shit post is its own word.
Yeah.
So long as you say, if I say the two words separately, then it's a bad word. If I say that shit post together, it's okay, I think. I don't know. So Verzoom did that, and I feel bad. And I can't delete the comment because it's Reddit. It'll say comment deleted, and then I look like an asshole because you can still see what the deleted comment was. Either way.
I don't know, man. I think you're being a little bit of a troll, but to each his own. To each his own.
I'm just mad because the Verzoom doesn't have a model that will work for my, rotundness.
Yeah, that's pretty mean, man.
I think at one point, the limit right now is
260 pounds? Only 260?
260.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I got to lose weight if I want to lose weight on that thing.
Hey, if that game's really good, it'll motivate you to lose weight to lose more weight. Is that how that works? I don't know.
If Pokemon Go isn't motivating me to lose weight, nothing's gonna. It's over. The technology cannot save me from my poor eating habits.
Well, Hollowball probably shaved something off there, right?
Yeah. Now that they fixed that thing with Hollowball, the exploit, it's much more difficult. I got the paddle and I tried to do the exploit, and I'm like, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, speaking of the exploit, I put up the video again because they fixed it. So you guys can see the video on our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Just see what you could have done. I mean, I guess you could still delete the game and reinstall it and then take, as soon as it installs, then take out your
you got to admit the video's up there for your own vanity, because I'm Slice, I'm a lead hacker.
My vanity? No. If you wanted vanity for getting the high scores somehow, you could do it.
Hey, my Pinball Effects F2 is I can be vain about that all I want. I work hard for that top 10. Trust me. I go back and I keep an eye on the scores, and if I drop down, I will play tables until I push back in that top 10. And now I'm not looking forward that Europe has the Walking Dead tables. That's the only thing keeping them from being in the high scores, is your max score is 9,000, because you can have up to 1,000 points per table. And if you can't get the 9th table, then you can't do it. So you can't be in the high score if you don't buy all the tables and get high scores in all of them. So now Europeans are going to get that. And I'm afraid that once other countries that are notorious for hardcore gamers get a hold of these, then I'm absolutely wiped out. So I'm enjoying being an American early adopter that has access to all the titles so I can hold my top 10.
So
that's my vanity. I want more tables. They will get me day one. I'm telling you right now, Pinball Effects. If you charge 3 times as much to give me the table a day earlier than everybody else, I would buy it that way.
You're the biggest pinball nerd I've ever met,
yes.
man. One of the games that's coming out soon. It was a game that I was like hoping would be like on the launch with PSVR, but it's pretty close to launch. Now is a game I've been looking at for the Vive, and if you see these people on YouTube with their green screens and what they're doing with this game and like how it looks with the room scale, I don't know how it's going to work on PSVR.
Yes.
I'm really intrigued on how they're going to make this work. But Fantastic Contraption. This is a game that
you
was
totally Ryan Seacrest did that. You dragged that out before you said the name of the game for forever. Continue. Fantastic Contraption.
Yeah,
we'll tell you after the break.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, sponsorship goes there, right? Okay.
Yes.
Well, so the Fantastic Contraption. This is a web-based game that was in like I played it when I was like 10 on like a Flash player on one of those Flash player sites that are like still going on.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Fantastic Contraption went there, and then it went on the App Store, and it's like a mobile game now. And I can't wait to buy this game. It's 3D. The way they're like completely. They took their same concept and then they made a 3D version of it, which is really interesting. And I can't wait for that game to come out. Could you tell me a little bit about Starblood Arena?
Starblood Arena, that's the new first-person shooter that's coming out. It looks like it's somewhere in between Riggs and the Eve Valkyrie. So somewhere in between your giant robot ship kind of thing that's flying around in zero gravity, and it's a multiplayer game. And I believe there's going to be a little bit of a campaign to it, but it's going to be mainly a multiplayer kind of thing. When I saw it, it's not completely like Ender's Game. You haven't watched Ender's Game or read the book, have you?
No.
That's one of those other things. Like eventually, like I'll push you. There's a couple more books you need to read eventually, just so you continue having conversations with me. Ender's Game and Snow Crash. I'm just saying, hey, we're going to be around forever. But yeah, in Ender's Game, there's kind of like a zero gravity thing going on. And Ender's Game also has a lot of virtual reality stuff in it. Virtual reality and drones. But
really, in Ender's Game?
Yes.
Ender's Game has this virtual? Okay, well, I'll have to read it. You're already making me read more than I have in the last 4 years, so yeah. That's a good thing. Thank you, Danthal.
Yes, absolutely. It looks like a really interesting game. It looks like it has some charismatic alien characters you can play as. You know, it reminded me a little bit of
Battleborn. Reminds me of Battleborn.
I'm thinking there's another game. It's a MOBA game, like a Saturday morning cartoon thing. Awesomenauts. That's what I'm thinking of. Awesomenauts. But it looks like it looks like fun multiplayer. It looks like shooting and flying and dogfighting and everything else.
It's PvP?
Yeah, no, it's going to be a player versus player multiplayer.
Oh gosh, that actually sounds pretty cool. Some people are calling this a AA game because it doesn't look quite AAA, but it's not no B movie. You know, it's looks high quality.
Yeah,
game here.
And I've read up on the kind of things that they're working on to mitigate the motion sickness aspects of it. So that should be interesting to see what kind of comfort modes they put in there. But Starblood Arena is definitely on my radar. I think that's going to be probably a day one for me, just from the videos I've watched. At least the preview stuff. We'll get to see more and more gameplay stuff as it comes out. But yes, definitely.
Yeah. Super Vectroid?
Vectroids. Super Vectroids, yes.
Is this a blast from the past or what for you? This looks like a really old arcadey style game that they're just like putting into VR.
It looks like Asteroids and Geometry Wars had a baby. Essentially, it's a twin stick shooter-ish kind of thing. It looks like there's boss battles and shooting up asteroids and making them break into other smaller asteroids, which then you have to shoot, and shooting aliens and other ships. It looks like it can be fun. Vector games in 3D definitely can be good. You get that Tron kind of vibe going. I'm hoping Disney comes out with some kind of proper Tron experience thing going on too. Although Tron's not virtual reality so much. That's like being in the computer. But I guess that's technically virtual reality.
Yeah. You know what there's not a lot about? There's not a lot of in VR at the moment?
What's that?
Violence. And Lethal VR looks pretty violent. And I want to give this game a try. It looks like you get a whole bunch of. It looks like, is it just like an arena? It looks like just like a target range where you have a whole bunch of weapons and you get to violence up some mannequins, or hopefully there's like not just mannequins or whatever.
I think there's just targets. I think it's just targets that pop up, and it's target practice and your training and stuff like that. So you're not shooting real people, you're just shooting silhouettes of people.
I was hoping for more violence. Oh well, next time then. Oh man.
No, it's all going to be nice. Shooting silhouettes and targets. It looks like it's fun. Gunplay's fun. I know I enjoyed Pixel Gear, and even though I didn't play the other one, the London Heist, I've seen that the gunplay in that has been good.
Yeah, that one's really good. And in the London Heist, you know what really surprised me? You could take the magazines, you could throw it up into the air, and then catch it with the butt of your gun and catch the magazine in there. You could do some really cool tricks in that.
Nice.
Like that you couldn't do outside of VR. It's pretty interesting that you can do stuff like that. Like it took me like 20 tries to actually get the magazine thrown up and caught in the gun, but it worked.
The one thing about Fantastic Contraption that I think might have been understated when we're talking about it, it is building inventions, and the inventions like crawl on things, but there looks like there's a good physics engine in there. And one thing I saw a guy doing, at least in the trailer of the game, was juggling. So he had blocks, and he was throwing the blocks in the air, and he was juggling the blocks using the motion controllers. So it looks like there's going to be a little bit more of a playground sandboxy kind of thing going on with that too. That might be a lot of fun to do something like that. If it's that much of a sandbox, you can probably figure out how to stack blocks and build your own castles and knock them down and do stuff like that, as well as playing through the missions of the game. That's what I think is going to be the best part of that when it comes out.
Yeah, you're giving me ideas. I like it. Yeah. I like it.
I did a little bit of that in the Harmonix in the dance room. You can like shoot them with a gun and it shoots fruit, and you can launch them through the basketball hoop and it registers points, where you can zoom out and throw them off the stage and they go,
what's new? What's news? What's the news?
News
here.
News. You snooze, you lose. Is not the case for the PSVR. They snoozed. They came out way after like the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift, but they're outselling both of them now. How did that happen?
3 months. It's crazy. PSVR has 800K units,
right?
Compared to the Vive's 500K and the Rift's 400K. So together, the other headsets have 900K, and we're almost caught up. Our bandwagon here.
Everybody out there's got computers. And it's not, a terrible expense to get an extra video card. Video card may cost you $350, $400, but you can get one of the other headsets and make that work with it. There's a bigger computer base of computer users and a smaller PlayStation 4, but we're winning because we're fanboys, I guess. That's how we work because we do the PSVR podcast. So we're like, yay, fanboy out. Our team's winning. Developers pay more attention to us. That means developers take their crappy cardboard games and stuff and put them on the store for us to buy, which means other developers might throw money at it because they're like, hey, those guys are making money. We want money. That's how it works.
Yeah, we're seeing that right now with some of these games that are coming out. But you know what? Actually, it astounds me about this news story from the Wearables. This is from Wearables.com.
Wearables, W-A-R-E. Wearables, like hardware.
They said that Sony was actually could have pushed out more headsets, but due to problems in making the OLED displays, Sony hasn't advertised the PSVR as much this holiday season since it can't meet the demand. So it's a demand versus supply problem. There's a huge demand, but their supply is limited because of manufacturing issues. So that's actually a good thing, because that Super Data website was throwing their numbers all around, and they might have been right. Actually, their first numbers might have been right if there wasn't like supply constraint issues with Sony.
Excellent. Most of the time when I'm, I frequent box stores right now because I'm shopping for Christmas. And I always go down the video game aisle to see the overpriced video games and to see what they have in stock or don't have in stock, so I can tell anecdotal stories for the podcast. And pretty much everywhere I'm going here in Mesa and Tempe and Gilbert and stuff like that, they're mostly empty. They might have one, but the rest of the area where more could be sitting, there are none. So it's either they're selling out or they just don't stock very many of them.
You don't ask them? You don't ask them how much they have?
I'm not going to bother them.
Oh, I bother them. So at my Walmart, they don't have any. I'm a bothering kind of guy. I just bother everybody.
Just go into Target and push the button, red button, wait there.
Hey, how many of these things do you got? I need some information.
Yeah. He's like, you going to buy anything? No. Get out
I'm not going to buy it. I just need the information.
Yeah.
So there was a Battlezone update. You want to tell us about that?
Battlezone update. They are going to be adding classic mode Battlezone with leaderboards. So it's like the classic arcade game reimagined for virtual reality headsets. You'll be able to play it much like the arcade game did, and you will have other bots that you're shooting at, and maybe, just maybe, you'll get to go to the volcano in this version of it. Who knows? So it sounds like they're saying you can actually go to the volcano, which was like in Battlefield. The original Battlefield in the arcade, there's always a volcano erupting in the background, but no matter how far you travel towards it, you can never get to the volcano.
It was called Battlefield?
Not Battlefield. Battlezone. Sorry.
Battlezone.
I get my video games confused. Remember, I'm an old man.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of battle. The one, the Star Wars one is Battlefront. That's the one that gets me. Is it Battlefield? Is it Battlezone? Is it Battle? No, there's choices.
Battleborn. Yeah, there's a lot of battles, man. They got to stop that battle naming technique there. It's played out, man.
No more battling. Can't we all just get along?
Yeah, so is it going to be like classic? Are they going to have like the green vectors, or is it going to have the new graphics? Oh, green vectors. All right, we'll see how that works.
Yeah.
I'm interested in try it. I never even played the original one, but I've seen pictures.
They said there's more update coming. So I think in my mind that they're teasing some multiplayer stuff, like multiplayer, like PvP multiplayer kind of stuff, which I think could be done easily. I mean, if you have 5 people that are in a game or 6 people that are in a game doing this, why couldn't you just pit 3 versus 3? You know, that would work.
Yeah, that's what actually surprised me about Battlezone, because when I bought it, I thought there was a PvP element. I didn't know that the multiplayer aspect was just a co-op mode, but I didn't do enough research, I guess, before I bought it. I just bought it.
Yeah, I can imagine with Battlezone, they might be able to add more just content you can play, more modes. Capture the flag, do other kind of things with it. You have the universe built there. Put something in. Maybe let people fly the drone things. That would be fun.
And it's free? It's free?
That's what they're saying. This is like a free content included patch. They're charging $60 for the game, and it's kind of Spartan as it is right now. It makes sense that they give the rest of this stuff for free, because otherwise everybody's going to go, this game's kind of Spartan. But if you know that this game has all of this extra content that's been added to it since the launch, that actually makes it worth $60, then yeah. Don't charge somebody, $60 for the game and then milk them more after.
Yeah, I'm really applauding the developers on this one.
Yeah,
it needed more content.
This is Activision. This isn't Electronic Arts here.
Yeah.
Activision on occasion will do the right thing, okay?
Ow. Hey, dude, I got a splinter. There's a slice of splinter right here.
Oh,
new segment.
That's a great segment intro.
Ow. Yeah, it hurts, man. So anyway, this splinter right here, when you're looking at your trophies, I'm a huge trophy hunter. When you're looking at your trophies and you see you got your PS3 trophies, your PS4 trophies, your Vita trophies, you see a little tag there that notifies you of a platform that you got the trophies on.
Right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at your PSVR games, there's no tag for PSVR. It just says PS4. And what happens when they release a PS5 and then there's the VR2, or you can maybe even hook up, who knows, you might be able to hook up your regular PSVR to your PS5. How are you going to tell if it's a PSVR game? I really wish that they would have implemented the little tags for PSVR to let, it could even say PS4, and then just like they do with the PS3, Vita, PS4 stuff, if it's all the platforms, they just put it next to each other. They should have a tag there. That's something that's been bothering me. It's just getting at me. Every time I look at my trophy list, I'm like, I know I didn't get these on just the PS4. So, do you have any problems with that? No, you're not a trophy hunter.
I'm not really a trophy hunter. Like, now that you're doing it and paying attention to it and talking about it, like I met you in a party online. Like they're like, "Oh, who invited Dan? What's Dan doing here?" And I'm like, "Oh, Slice invited me." And I'm like, I realized that like I didn't get invited. I just saw something in my notifications that said Slice is in a group with 4 other people. You can join if you want to. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I can go join." And then like nobody invited me, but I just like jumped in on your conversation. You're talking about trophies and how you're sad, or he was sad because he didn't get the trophy for MAG for the PlayStation 3 because they shut down the servers online before you can get the platinum on that. And it's one of the first things you can get a platinum trophy on. And the conversation was interesting to listen to. But like,
yeah, that guy had 83 platinums.
Oh
I was
my
just
God,
astounded.
that's a lot.
That's like double mine. So I was like, really impressed with that guy.
I've got exactly 0 platinums.
Oh, you could pay $1 and just get My Name Is Mayo just to have one.
No,
actually,
there's
Job Simulator. Do you have Job Simulator?
No, I don't have that one yet.
That's an easy one to get.
That'll be an easy platinum. I'm looking. I think Harmonix Music might have one. I'm gonna have to take another look at it.
Doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
I would have had it.
You would have had it already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trophies can be fun. I like how Eagle Flight actually popped up your trophy in the game, when you did it, and said, "Hey, you got a trophy."
Yeah, Battlezone does that too.
Right.
I like. They need to implement more of that. I like that. That is cool. Like they can even put it like in the game. Like like if you're walking past like a screen in the game, I wouldn't mind seeing it there or whatever.
Yeah,
or
I think the limitation is because it's like a PlayStation system thing, right? Like the system is what pops up the trophies when you're in the game. So when you're in any other flat game playing and you get a trophy, the system is notifying you and popping it up, and it's often after the fact. So it's a notification, but they don't have that notification system built into the VR yet. There's no
UI specific for the VR, which I can't wait till they make their own like PlayStation VR OS. You turn it on, and then you're just in like the PlayStation VR
Gear
marketplace
VR is like
and
that.
everything.
Yeah, the Oculus Store is like that. When you go into the Oculus Store in VR, it starts off VR. That's it. You're looking at things and you're controlling things in VR, and that's why PlayStation virtual reality needs to do it, and I hope that happens soon as well. I think they will be able to have a better cinema mode for playing games in when that happens too. Like a cinema mode where like you're sitting on the couch, like if you're in Pinball Effects 2, like playing a video game sitting on a virtual couch like that would be fun.
Yeah, like a little hub.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Werewolves Within.
Werewolves Within.
Werewolves Within. Yeah. Do you have any like best moments with that game yet? How far have you gotten? Like with it?
Yeah. See, the first night I played, it was like late at night already, and the fiance was wanting to go to bed, and I'm in there like, being funny or whatever, trying to be and offending people. So it's like bedtime for her, and that's like on the weekends. And then when on the other days, it's like bedtime for the kids, and I can't be noisy for the kids, and my video game time tends to happen late. So I haven't had the best experience with it because I had to be quiet and leave. I hear people like, "Oh, I played for 12 hours straight, and I lost my job because I didn't realize I'd been gone for so long." And all my games are like 45 minutes, and I'm like, ugh. There was one that was a lot of fun. We were playing, and everybody's doing their things, and I looked over, and I got the blonde woman next to me, and so I can like totally look over and look at her cleavage. I'm like, oh, this is so immersive.
Everybody can see that you're doing that, and that usually like makes everybody laugh. Like that's what happens to me. I'll be playing with a group of people, and then I get the blonde next to me. I look over, and then everybody just busts up laughing. Like they just notice it.
But this other guy had a really deep voice, and we were talking to him, and we were all commenting on how deep his voice was. And so I asked him to. He says, "Hey man, do me a favor, just give me a couple bars of Chocolate Rain." He's like, well, and he wasn't saying anything. Like Chocolate Rain, Tay Zonday. You got that Tay Zonday voice. I'm like, Chocolate Rain. And everybody was like still really quiet and like awkward kind of whatever. I was like, oh.
I think you might have been the only one who got that joke. I get it, Danthal. Don't worry.
Yeah, but no, I totally felt like, what was that, racist or something? Did I offend somebody again? I'm like, and then everybody else is like, I totally offended that dude. Cause like,
yeah, that happens to me too.
He doesn't want
not in this game. I don't do it in this game, but yeah, in real life, that happens to me.
That always happens to me in social games like this. So I think this might be one that I trade in before I get myself in real trouble. I like the graphics. I had some weird tracking issues where it was like popping me all over the place. I could end up in the middle of the fire, or I would be in somebody else's position, then I'd be back, and then the screen would stick. and I did a complete reboot of the system, and it was still doing it. So some of the glitches like that, and some of the people I've talked to, I haven't had the best experiences with. But I can imagine how other people that aren't me have fun playing this game.
It's all about the group that you get with. I mean, I've out of like 20 to 30 groups or something, maybe a little more closer to 20. Out of 20, I've had like 3 or 4 like toxic groups, and then like one of those like that was toxic, it was easily fixed by kicking the players that were annoying, and everybody agrees. So usually everybody agrees about the toxic players. So
I would like to see more games like this. You were saying something about one of the games that you had played. I think something like this that would be a game show kind of thing, kind of like The Weakest Link. Something of that variety. You can even have somebody that's specifically a host, who's a good host, who could run a game show trivia kind of thing like that would be fun. If they implemented, if you could easily implement things like this into the engine and have other kind of things. And I think I'd be more interested if it was not purely a social experience like this, and if they had some other social, maybe playing cards. How hard would it be, really, to give people cards? Let them play poker in that. It totally.
Yeah, I think that's what the Star Crew is going to do, something like that. Or Star Trek Star Crew. I don't know what it's called. You're the Star Trek guy. What is that game?
The Star Trek Bridge Crew game that's going to be coming out. I think it's going to be using something similar, but you're going to be sitting at your position on the bridge of the Enterprise and running your part. Like if you're engineering, you're like fixing stuff, like rerouting power, and if you're the captain, then you're telling people what to do and doing that. And if you are the guy shooting the guns, there's a guy who shoots a gun, and there's a guy who controls the ship, and there's a guy who fixes things and manages shields, and there's a captain. So there's different roles that are going on. I'm not entirely sure about all the roles. I'm pretty sure that was my impression of it. I should look at what the real roles are. But it's something similar to that, to where you're playing in that way. And that sounds like it would be fun. And there's different scenarios. It's not like the same game every time. Like, here's the experience with the Klingons. Here's the experience with, these other aliens. And here's this planet, and you have to make decisions on, whether you let people live or die, or prime directive kind of things. So apparently it's going to be a little bit more of that. That's more of a game that I'm going to get into.
Do we know if this game has pro support?
I would assume so. I mean, it's toggles a lot of time, and it's just developers realizing that they can optimize a game using more horsepower. So you just open up things. You open up, okay, here with these graphic resources, we can turn these up now, whereas before, if we wanted to hit 60 frames on the PlayStation 4, we have to keep them below this level. So I think every game pretty much coming out from this point forward is going to include at least a minimum amount of pro support. I would hope.
Yeah, like speaking of pro support, Eagle Flight got a second pro patch recently, and I noticed it. There's like some more like particle effects. There's like some like butterflies, and also Battlezone got like more pro enhancements. So that's cool that a game's getting graphically better as we go. Like it's not just one pro update. They keep making it better, which is they're learning how to utilize the hardware of the pro better. So
I played a little bit of the Eagle Flight, and I did just some of the chill out kind of flying, just like find a zebra and slow down and follow it through whatever its loop is, and like it comes around and it does a loop here and then goes back the other way. So if you want to follow them, they have a path. Or the other things, check out the elephants, get next to the bears, and it seemed like the animals were a little bit more clear and crisp. The bears felt that way, and it did feel good overall. It felt like maybe there was a little less pop-in where there was pop-in before. Like the render distance is supposed to be further out. So there's
that's like the first thing I noticed when I got the PS4 Pro is I got the regular PS4 hooked up with the VR, and I had my PS4 Pro sitting in the box. So then I played Eagle Flight. I flew all the way to the top in free flight mode, all the way to as high as you could go. Looked down, saw the draw distance that was ugly. Like you couldn't see anything. You go towards the floor, it pops in. And then I hooked up my PS4 Pro. This is like a week or so ago. And then hooked up my PS4 Pro, and then immediately went all the way up and looked down. You could see everything. There's like I didn't even know there's like pop-in problems with the Pro, but apparently they fixed that even more. That's pretty cool.
No, it's good to see the developers continuing to revisit the games. I think there might have been a little bit of a push for developers to get things out early to make it to the launch. And now that their games have sold, they can rededicate some of those funds that their games are making to improving, so that people that are going to be playing after Christmas for the very first time are going to start off with an optimized experience. And the early adopters are going to go, fine, we understand. But hopefully this isn't a trend where we continue to get games that, after you're done playing the game, essentially, they improve it. Like, hey, remember that game you played 2 months ago that you beat already? We fixed it and made it look a lot prettier. And you're like, yeah, I already played it. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you remember me talking about locomotion with 2 move controllers and using a driving mechanic?
Yes.
There's this game on the Chinese store. That's what the guy on the YouTube video said that was showing it off. I think it might be the Japanese store, but he doesn't know either, so who knows. Kill X game. So it uses 2 move controllers, and you hold the T button down on the on the left-hand controller to go forward, and you press X to go backwards, and then you use the triangle and X buttons on the left hand to turn, which they could have implemented that a little bit better. They could have made triangle on the left hand and the right hand to use 1 button to turn. But I mean, it's just more innovative if you use left to go left and right to go right.
Right.
But have you seen this video?
Yeah. No, I was just checking out the Facebook pages and everything else, and I saw somebody post this game on there, and I was like, yeah, let's see what kind of bootleg kind of stuff they got going on the Chinese PlayStation store. This game could have easily made it into the US store if they localized it a little bit. From what I was seeing, all of the controls were, and the explanation of how to play the game were in Chinese, but the danger posters and stuff like that were all in English. So there was English stuff in the game already, but you're in a cavern, and you have a gun and you have a flashlight, and the guy was holding the gun and the flashlight underneath each other, kind of like a police movie kind of thing where you have the gun and the flashlight so you can look where you're going to shoot and stuff like that. So that seemed kind of immersive to have the controllers up and holding like that, and you can go and move things around that are papers on whatever, and you can pick up bullets, and then these really slimy looking shiny monsters come running at you really fast, and you shoot them with your gun, and then you get a shotgun, and then you get an Uzi, and it looked like it was a fun game. The guy doing the video was like, oh, I'm not going to bitch out here. I'm just going to go through this real quick. And then he's wasting time, looking through things. Yeah, I'm not going to bitch out. I'm not going to, I'm going to go right through this. I'm not going to be scared. And the whole time he's stalling. It's so funny. Because he's trying to sound like he's cool. And it's dude, it's so obvious you're stalling right now. I'll put the video on the PSVRLIFE page. It's good. What did you think of that?
I just liked that they thought of the same thing that I thought of with the locomotion, with the move controllers. I thought that was cool. That's pretty simple way to move. I mean, I could have made it a little bit better, but I think it's interesting. It looks like it should be free, but
yeah, that's how he got it, because it's free. Otherwise, I think you'd have difficulty purchasing things on the store if you don't have a localized currency. I don't think you can just use your American Express on that stuff. You got to Alipay or whatever.
Yeah, or get a Chinese PSN discount card to the cards, little $20 cards, but 200 yen cards or 2,000, something like that. Yeah. So I was watching this movie, Anthol. It's called Circle on Netflix.
Okay.
All right, and it's reminded me of Werewolves Within, because this whole movie is just talking. And it's just, the whole movie is talking. It's 50 people around this circle thing, and it's super low budget movie, it seems. But they added some stuff at the end of it to liven it up, I guess. And these people are getting killed, and they don't know why they're getting killed in the beginning. And then they figure out that they're choosing who's getting killed. And it's like a logic philosophy kind of movie. And I think some people would like it. If you like Werewolves Within, you would probably like the movie The Circle.
Okay.
Just wanted to mention that.
So I probably won't like the 50. Okay. No, yeah.
So it's like a movie podcast kind of.
Right.
It's all just talking. and looking at faces.
That sounds interesting. When you say that, it reminds me a little bit of the movie The Cube, where there's like these people in the cube and they don't know why they have to get out of the cube and they're dying, and it becomes very dramatic, whereas most of the time they're just in the same cube looking thing yelling at each other. That's most of the movie. Most of the movie is them talking, not really action going on.
Yeah, it does resemble The Cube and that same type of style. I mean, I'm a fan of those.
Yes. What was the other one? Pi. Pi was the one that everybody thinks the greatest independent low-budget movie ever, and I think it's horrible.
Yeah, I can't get through that movie at all. Just can't get through it. Yeah.
Yeah, good. There's somebody else that agrees with me. You're like the other 1 in 10 people. The other 9 other people who see that movie get so angry that I talk poorly about it at all. Yeah. Does things like that, you're kind of saying Werewolves Within, to be interested if they made a video game that was kind of that kind of aspect. That's why I was thinking Xbox 360 did that 1 versus 100 once. They did that whole experiment thing, and that didn't work at all. Because they just...
What is that?
There was a television show called 1 versus 100, right? So basically there's 100 people in the audience and one person, and the one person is, like, if you're in the 100 and you answer the question wrong, then you get eliminated. So it's like, 100 people versus the one person that's on the television show, game show. I don't know much about it, but the whole idea is you can tune in with your Xbox 360 at a certain time, and you can be a participant in this game. And it was a game show that went on, and you can even get like achievement points, and you can win real prizes and everything. But they were running advertising, and they had like major problems getting it going, and they weren't attracting enough people to come to do it, so it didn't work. But I think eventually virtual reality is going to pick up to the point where it's not going to be difficult to attract an audience of 100 people to a game on a nightly basis. So, another great week in PlayStation VR. Some crappy releases, things that weren't the best, but every week has at least one of those. Every week has like a Martian or an NBA experience or Perfect.
Yeah, it's like a perfect waste of money. Like that's just like such an oxymoron that they would call it perfect.
Yeah, and it's. I think that's going to be the trend for a while. We're going to get a good release, okay release, and then a crap release, and then people are going to spend the money on the crap releases because they're eager to spend money for new stuff. But overall, great week. If you want to contact us, check out the Twitter, that's at PSVRLIFE, the Facebook, which is just search PSVRLIFE in Facebook or /groups/PSVRLIFE. Our webpage is PSVRLife.com. Our contact information is available on there, including the call-in number. You can call us at 540-404-1376, and it's just like a Google voice line. I don't answer it. You're not going to be talking on the phone with me. You're going to leave a voicemail message, and then I'm going to play it on the show, and we're going to talk about it. The art for the show is courtesy of Courtney Ahola. Music for the show is Feeling High by Amiga Breaks, courtesy Broken Souls Records. Thank you very much for listening to episode 6 of the PSVR Life podcast.
Put on your headset and get a life.
Later.
Some stay dry and others feel the pain. Chocolate rain. A baby born the night before the synopsis rain. The school books say it can't